My husband told me he was working late. Hours later, I saw him walk with my sister into the restaurant where I was working. They were holding hands, laughing, flirting. I nearly dropped a tray of martinis when I saw them. That night, I didn't cry. I just stood there, frozen. Weeks later, it was my sister who showed up at my apartment in tears. And my husband? He was nowhere to be found. Let me set the scene. I'm Danny, 31, copywriter by day, server by night, and up until 48 hours ago, I thought I had a solid, happy marriage. Noah and I have been together 6 years, married for 4. We met at a volunteer cleanup event. He helped me lift a broken street sign. I helped him fix his Wi-Fi later that week. We're not perfect, but we're us. Or, we were. Mallory's my younger sister, 3 years younger to be exact. She's the golden child. Blonde, flirty, yoga-toned, effortlessly charming. People adore her instantly, especially men. She's always had a way of making herself the center of attention, without even trying. And to be honest, I've always defended her. Even when she dated my high school ex. Even when she accidentally posted a bikini pic from my bachelorette trip with a thirst trap caption that made my own bridesmaids ask if she was the bride. But I never, in a million years, thought she would do this. And definitely not with him. There were countless red flags, but I was too caught up in the game of love to notice any of them. Everything happened on those countless days when he told me he was working late. Again. I was pulling espresso shots at 9 p.m. and bussing tables till midnight because we're a team, babe. Because money's been tight, and apparently, my corporate marketing job isn't enough if I'm not pulling double shifts. So yeah, I picked up a few extra waitressing shifts at this fancy little bistro downtown, the same one we celebrated our anniversary at last year. Ironic, right? But nothing could have prepared me for what happened Friday night. I was finishing up a double shift, too tired to feel my feet. Hair tied back, makeup mostly faded, apron dusted with powdered sugar from the creme brulee special. I was just praying my last table wouldn't tip in quarters. Then I saw them. Him. And her. My husband Noah. My sister, Mallory, seated at table 12, candlelight flickering between them. Laughing. The kind of laugh I haven't heard from him in months. I stood frozen near the dessert station, gripping my tray so tight my knuckles turned white. They hadn't seen me yet. Mallory was twirling her hair around her finger, legs crossed, laughing at something Noah said. He reached out and tucked a strand of her hair behind her ear. I almost dropped the tray. My coworker Jenna passed by and whispered, "You okay? You look like you saw a ghost." I wanted to scream, or cry, or both. Instead, I smiled. "Table 12, I said, voice like glass. "I've got this one." And with that, I walked over heels, clicking like gunshots against the hardwood toward my husband and my sister, ready to serve them their wine. I stood at the edge of their table, heart pounding so hard, I thought the glasses might shatter from the vibration alone. They were laughing. Again. Leaning close. Noah had that smug, "I'm charming and I know it" smile. The one he used when he wanted something. Mallory's hand rested casually on top of his. I cleared my throat. They both looked up. Mallory blinked first, confusion spreading across her face. Her mouth dropped open like a bad sitcom reaction. "Oh my God," she gasped. "Donnie?" Noah's face went white, like snowstorm in Siberia white. His eyes darted from me to the wine, to the name tag on my chest. "Donnie," he croaked. What are you doing here?" I smiled. You know that terrifyingly calm smile women wear when their hearts are breaking, but they won't give anyone the satisfaction of seeing them fall apart? Yeah, that one. "Funny," I said, setting the glasses down with deliberate care. "I was about to ask you the same thing." Mallory looked like she wanted the ground to open up and swallow her whole. Noah, on the other hand, straightened in his chair and had the audacity to play dumb. This isn't what it looks like," he stammered. I let out a breathless laugh. "Oh, cool. So you two accidentally ended up at the same candlelit restaurant on a Friday night, sipping our wedding wine and holding hands?" Mallory started to say something, but I raised a hand to stop her. "Don't," I said. My voice didn't even shake. I was proud of that. Not a single word. They looked so small in that moment, like teenagers caught sneaking out past curfew. And I suddenly realized I wasn't the one who should feel humiliated. They were. I turned to walk away, but just before I did, I leaned in and whispered to Mallory, "Enjoy the wine. You're paying for it." Then I walked off, head high, even as my hands trembled. But I wasn't done. Not even close. The walk back to the kitchen was a blur. I barely registered the clatter of dishes, or the soft hum of jazz playing from the overhead speakers. All I could hear was my heartbeat. All I could taste was betrayal. Jenna, my coworker, caught me near the dish station. "What the hell just happened?" she whispered. I guess someone had seen the moment I dropped that bomb at table 12. I couldn't answer. I just handed her my apron, said I had a migraine, and walked straight out the back door into the alley. The cool air hit me like a slap. I leaned against the wall, gripping my phone like it was the only thing tethering me to earth. I should have cried, but I was too numb to cry. I sat there and whole picture started to crawl into my mind. 3 weeks ago, Noah started working late more often. Budget meetings, he said. The numbers are a mess, babe. It's the end of the quarter. Cool. I get it. Corporate finance is a soul-sucking nightmare. But then he started bringing home less money. Our joint account showed random ATM withdrawals, always around 9 p.m., always followed by mysterious Uber receipts. When I asked about it, he brushed it off. Late night snacks. You know how I get when I'm stressed. Right. Because mozzarella sticks and Lyft rides scream urgent budgeting. Then, 2 weeks ago, Mallory stopped returning my texts. She canceled brunch. Twice. Claimed she was super slammed at work. She's a freelance influencer. Her job is literally to post skincare selfies. But I didn't press her. Because I've spent my entire life giving her the benefit of the doubt. Like an idiot. I couldn't sleep that night. At 5 a.m., I was sitting on the floor of our bedroom, staring at my closet. Half of it was his button-downs, his stupid expensive cologne that smells like money and broken promises. I thought about packing, about texting Mallory, about throwing his Xbox out the window. But instead, I grabbed his spare keys. I told myself I was just gonna get some answers. Nothing dramatic, nothing petty, just the truth. Noah's car was parked crooked in the driveway, like he was in too much of a hurry last night to care. I climbed in, flipped open the center console, and started digging. Old receipts, a travel mug, chewed pens, a half-used pack of gum. Then bingo, a receipt from the restaurant. Time-stamped 6:17 p.m. But not just for dinner. A room at a hotel 2 blocks away. I stared at the words Queen Deluxe Suite like they were in another language. 198.74. Booked at 4:09 p.m. before they ever walked into my section last night. They'd already planned to leave dinner and go there. I flipped it over. There was handwriting. His handwriting. I'm yours. Always. I dropped the receipt like it burned. Suddenly, everything made sense. All those late nights. The guy's trip to Tahoe he said got canceled last minute. The lingerie ad Mallory accidentally airdropped to me last Christmas. The weird look he gave her at my birthday dinner when she wore that red dress. How they both laughed at the same joke before I'd even finished telling it. It was like someone replayed the past year of my life, but this time with director's commentary, brutal, unfiltered, and unforgiving. And here I was, the lead in a tragic comedy I never auditioned for. I sat in Noah's car for 20 more minutes, gripping that receipt like it could explain everything, like it owed me closure. And then my phone buzzed. A text from Mallory. Danny, I'm so sorry. Please let me explain. It's not what you think. I stared at the screen. Not what I think? You booked a hotel room with my husband Mallory. How many different ways can I think about that? But I didn't reply. I just took a picture of the receipt and texted it. To Mallory. To Noah. And to myself. A digital reminder. A timestamp on the moment I stopped being naive. Because from this point forward, they don't get the old Danny. When Noah walked through the door Saturday afternoon, he acted like nothing had happened. He dropped his keys in the bowl by the entryway, kicked off his sneakers, and called out, "Babe, you home?" Like he didn't just shatter my reality the night before. Like he wasn't sipping wine with my sister and booking hotel rooms behind my back. I was sitting at the kitchen island, phone in hand, the receipt open on the screen. He turned the corner and froze when he saw it. When he saw me. I didn't even speak. I just tapped the screen. Noah's eyes darted down. Read the words. And he did not deny it. He didn't blow up. Didn't storm out. He just exhaled. "Donnie," he started, voice low, almost like he was tired. "I was going to tell you." I raised an eyebrow. "Were you going to tell me before or after the second round of room service?" That shut him up real quick. I slid the photo across the counter. "You wrote her a love note on a hotel receipt, Noah." He rubbed the back of his neck like this was just another awkward Monday morning. Then he said the dumbest sentence in the history of dumb sentences. It was just emotional. Until it wasn't. I stared at him, speechless. Which is saying something. 'Cause I'm a writer, I always have the words. But that knocked the wind out of me. I laughed. A short, bitter sound. "Are you seriously trying to frame this like you accidentally fell into her hotel room? Like, oops, my feelings tripped me into cheating?" His face twisted. "You've been so distant lately, Donnie. You're always working. You never want to connect. Oh my God, I cut him off? Are you blaming me for you sleeping with my sister? I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying it's complicated. Complicated. Complicated is forgetting your anniversary. Complicated is disagreeing over IKEA furniture. Sleeping with my sister is cruel. And the worst part, he really believed he was the victim. I asked one final question. "How long, Noah? How long has this been going on? He hesitated a beat too long. A few months, he said, not meeting my eyes. Since around your birthday. My birthday? The day he threw me a surprise party and made a toast about how lucky he was to have me. The day Mallory hugged me and whispered, "You really are his whole world." The same night I saw her sneaking off to the patio to take a call she claimed was just work. I told Noah that night how happy I was, that I'd finally started believing we were getting back to us. He was sleeping with her then. He was already gone. I looked at him, at this man I'd once promised forever to, and felt something shift. I wasn't angry. Not yet. I was hollow. Like the part of me that loved him had already packed its bags and slipped out the door while we were talking. "You need to leave," I said quietly. "Tonight." He opened his mouth, then closed it again, and when he finally turned and walked away, I didn't cry. I didn't chase. I just picked up my phone and blocked them both. But that was just step one, because if Noah and Mallory thought that was the end of it, they had no idea who they were dealing with. It had been 2 days since I kicked Noah out. 2 days of pacing my apartment like a ghost, trying to decide if I was more sad or furious. I hadn't spoken to Mallory. I hadn't even thought about responding to her text. But of course, she couldn't leave it alone. Sunday morning, I opened Instagram. I know, I shouldn't have. But curiosity is a disease. And apparently, I had a relapse. There it was, the post. Mallory. On a sun-drenched balcony, wrapped in one of my oversized sweaters, coffee in hand, messy bun. Captioned, "Finding peace in the chaos, healing new beginnings." But the real kicker? Noah was in the background. Blurry, shirtless, barely visible unless you knew what to look for. I stared at the screen, heart thudding like a warning drum. She wasn't just unapologetic, she was bragging, subtle enough to play innocent, but obvious enough for the people who knew us. I checked the comments. "OMG, you look so happy. New man? Love seeing you glow, queen." I wanted to throw my phone across the room. And then I saw it. The likes. My aunt, my cousin, a few of our mutual friends, people who had no idea what was really going on. People who thought Mallory was just on some healing girl journey after a breakup. Not the kind of person who'd sleep with her sister's husband and post it like a lifestyle reset. I didn't DM her. I made a new account, burner email. No profile pic, no posts, just one follower, me. Then I sent screenshots to every person who liked or commented, to my aunt, my cousin, our mutual friends, the girls from our hometown friend group, even to Mallory's old roommate who always low-key hated her. Each DM had the same message. You might want the full story before hyping up a girl who slept with her sister's husband. Just a thought. No emotion, no insults, just facts. And, oh, the responses rolled in. Some apologized, some were horrified, some just reacted with the wide eye emoji. But the likes started disappearing. And the post? She deleted it by noon. She called me. I didn't answer, so she tried again. And again. Finally, I picked up because I wanted to hear what a backstabbing liar sounds like when the mask slips. Mallory didn't waste time. "Donnie, what are you doing?" she hissed. "You're making this so much worse than it needs to be." I laughed. "Worse for who, Mal? You or the man you stole out of my bed?" Her voice cracked. "I didn't steal anyone. You and Noah were already falling apart." He told me, "Oh, so you believed Noah, the same man who told me he wanted to start trying for kids this summer?" Silence. "That's right," I said. "He wanted a baby. With me. While he was warming your bed." Mallory started crying. Or pretending to. Honestly, I couldn't tell anymore. I didn't mean for it to happen this way. We connected. And I didn't know how to tell you. I wanted to. Spare me the speech, I snapped. You wanted what I had. You always have. She started to protest, but I cut the call. I wasn't going to keep arguing with someone who'd already made her choice. Instead, I was going to make mine. Because I just found out something else. Something even bigger than their betrayal. And it was hiding in Noah's email. I didn't go looking for it. I swear, I wasn't trying to dig through Noah's digital life. But when I logged into our shared Gmail, the one we used for bills, home repairs, and anything adulting, his account was still synced to my laptop. Curiosity got the better of me. I clicked on the inbox. Most of it was boring. A Home Depot promo. An overdue library notice from 3 years ago. Our internet bill. But then something caught my eye. Subject line. Final payment confirmation, Tulum trip, from a travel agency. I clicked it, already dreading what I'd find. 4 nights in Tulum. 2 guests, oceanfront villa, private dinner reservations, couples massage. Dates? Just 2 weeks from now. I stared at the screen, jaw slack. He'd planned a vacation with her, not some quick affair, not a fling. He was booking experiences, memories, vacations we used to dream about and never take because money was tight. The part that made my stomach twist? He paid for it using our joint credit card, the one I paid off every month, the one he always said he barely touched. The betrayal didn't even feel like fire anymore. It felt cold, like ice water dumped over every part of me that once trusted him. And there, at the bottom of the email, was the final dagger. Looking forward to surprising her. She has no idea. Sent by Noah. To the travel agent. With a stupid little emoji. Mallory didn't even know. He was going to surprise her. Noah clearly wasn't planning on telling me about this trip. Probably figured he'd be long gone before the bill came due. But you know what's fun about a joint credit card? Joint access. So I called the travel agency. Used my very convincing Karen voice and explained I was the cardholder, and there'd been a mistake. The very kind woman on the line assured me she could help. I confirmed the reservation details, booking number, Noah's full name, the dates, and then said the words I'd been dying to say all week. I need to cancel this trip. Immediately. She asked if there was a reason. I said yes. My husband's taking my sister, and I'm the one paying for it. There was a beat of silence. Then she said, oh, and then I'll take care of it right away. Click. One vacation? Canceled. Refund going back to our card. And best of all, they'd still get the cancellation email. I updated the password to the Gmail, changed the credit card alerts to my phone, set up new verification steps for every shared account. And then I started digging deeper: bank statements, Venmo transfers, even Google Maps history. Let's just say, Noah has layers of secrets. And I had just peeled back the first. One location ping caught my eye. A jewelry store 2 towns over. Timestamped 2 days before I caught them at the restaurant. I clicked on the name. They specialized in custom pieces, anniversary gifts, proposals, engagement rings. Suddenly, my stomach twisted. The jewelry store ping haunted me for a whole weekend. So Monday morning, I called. I didn't even try to mask my voice this time. Hi, I'm calling about a recent purchase made by my husband, Noah Whitman. It should have been a custom order. I believe he came in last Thursday. The woman on the other end paused. Yes, that name sounds familiar. He ordered a custom piece. My stomach flipped. I tried to steady my voice. Can you tell me what it was? I'm sorry, ma'am. We can't release details to anyone but the purchaser. I exhaled slowly, thinking, then said the one phrase that always opens doors in retail. That makes total sense. I just need to make sure the engraving was correct. He mentioned he might have messed it up. Would you mind confirming it's the one that says yours always, M? Another pause. A longer one. Then the woman said, actually, yes, that's the one. Boom. I almost laughed. He had a ring made, for her, and engraved it with her initial. I stared at the wall for a full minute, not crying, not yelling, just processing. He'd ordered a custom ring for my sister, engraved it with his love, and used our credit card to do it. I could practically see it, the little box, the velvet interior, the moment he planned to drop to one knee, like some sick parody of a Hallmark movie. Maybe on that Tulum trip, maybe in the candlelight, maybe with my sister pretending she didn't betray me for the second time in our lives. He was going to propose. And this whole time, he was still married to me. I was done reacting. I was done sobbing in my car or hyperventilating in my bathtub while watching rom-coms and hate eating Cheez-Its. It was time to go full chess mode. So I made a list. File for separation. Already had a consultation lined up. Freeze the joint account. Done that night. Cancel the Tulum trip. Accomplished with flair. Return the ring with a note. I waited until Tuesday afternoon, then drove to the jewelry store. The clerk, who I now recognized as the same woman from the call, smiled politely as I walked in. I need to return a custom ring, I said sweetly, sliding the receipt across the counter. It's defective, she frowned. In what way? I leaned forward. It was meant for my sister. From my husband. Her eyes widened. Oh. I opened the box, pulled the ring out with shaking fingers, and dropped it back inside with a quiet, final snap. Then, I added a small envelope. Inside, a note, written in perfect cursive on soft pink stationery, the kind Mallory used to borrow from me in high school. Dear M, you can keep the man, but not the ring. It was bought with stolen love, and honestly, your fingers don't deserve it. D, I didn't need revenge. I needed freedom. And this was me, choosing myself for the first time in years. Let them have each other. They're perfect together. Perfectly awful. Should I say something? Should I let it go and disappear with grace? Start fresh. Move on. Heal in silence. But then I remembered the look on Mallory's face the night I served her and Noah their wine, how she smiled through it, like it was some twisted inside joke. No remorse. No shame. Just smug, self-satisfied victory. So I RSVP'd yes to Sunday night dinner at my parents' house. They do it every month. Big family dinner, potluck style, where my mom makes the same tired lemon chicken, and my dad talks about retirement like it's a conspiracy. It's the one night a month we all pretend we're normal. And this time, I let them pretend. Until I didn't. We were all there. Me, my parents, Aunt Renee, Uncle Todd, my cousin Zoe, and of course, Mallory, waltzing in 15 minutes late with that faux sincere, sorry, traffic was crazy energy, wearing my old sweater. The one Noah used to say, made me look cozy in a charming way. She smiled at me across the table, like we were still sisters, like she hadn't burned every bridge between us and then danced in the ashes. Dinner was awkward. Mallory made polite conversation with my mom, complimented her new hair color. My dad offered Noah's favorite wine to me like he didn't notice the empty seat beside me. Someone asked, casually, "Where's Noah tonight?" I smiled. "Oh, he's busy. Probably planning a proposal." Utensils paused. My mom blinked. "Proposal?" "Yeah." I took a sip of wine. To Mallory, "Didn't you guys know they're together now?" Silence. Absolute, deafening, glorious silence. Mallory's fork dropped. My mom choked on her sip of Chardonnay. Aunt Renee's eyes went full saucer mode. "What are you talking about?" my dad asked, already looking between us like he was trying to solve a murder mystery in real time. I turned to Mallory. "Do you want to explain? Or should I?" Her mouth opened but nothing came out, so I kept going. "Noah and I are separating. He cheated. With my sister. They've been sneaking around for months. He booked a trip to Tulum for them. Ordered her a ring. It's all real. I have the receipts, literally." I pulled out the printed email, the canceled trip itinerary, and laid it on the table like a royal flush. Mallory turned red, then pale, then red again. "Donnie, no," I said sharply. "You don't get to speak. You don't get a monologue. You had months to come clean. And you didn't." My mom burst into tears. My dad stood up, hands clenched into fists, face beet red. Aunt Renee looked at Mallory like she'd just sprouted horns. Zoe, God bless her, said, "Girl, what the actual F?" Mallory stood up. "I didn't mean for this to happen. We didn't plan it. I cut her off again. Do you know how many times I've heard men say that to the women they cheat on? It just happened, like love is a hurricane you accidentally walk into." I pushed back my chair. "I hope you two are happy, because now you only have each other." Then I walked out, calm, head held high, power radiating off me like perfume. The family dinner fallout was glorious. My phone lit up all night with texts from relatives I hadn't heard from in months. "I'm so sorry, Danny. I can't believe she did this to you. Please come over next weekend. We love you." Even my mom, through tears and voice cracks, left me a voicemail sobbing. I had no idea. I thought she grew out of the jealousy. But the message that stopped me cold? It came from Riley, Noah's coworker. A soft-spoken analyst I'd met a handful of times at office parties. The kind of woman who stayed out of drama and preferred spreadsheets to small talk. Her text came at 1:42 a.m. Just 3 words. "Can we talk?" I hesitated before answering, but something in my gut told me this wasn't drama. This was truth. We spoke the next morning. Riley's voice shook. "I don't want to get in the middle of anything, but I saw your dinner post. I know what happened with Noah, and I think you deserve to know what he's been saying about you." I braced myself. "Okay, I'm listening." According to Riley, the office had known something was off. Noah was constantly texting under the table, stepping out for mysterious phone calls, showing up late with lipstick smudges that didn't match mine. But that wasn't even the worst part. "He told us you were depressed," Riley said, "that you weren't emotionally available, that you'd stopped trying in the relationship." "Excuse me?" "He said you made him feel like an afterthought," she continued, sounding sick as the words left her mouth. "That you never wanted to have kids, that you belittled his career, called him a failure." I almost dropped the phone. He made it seem like Mallory was this safe place, someone who finally saw him. I let out a breathless laugh. Wow, so I'm the villain in his little fantasy. Riley was quiet for a second. Then she said, "You should also know, he brought her to the Christmas party." My heart stopped. "He said you were sick, but they were holding hands, whispering to each other. She wore a red dress. It was like a statement. Everyone assumed you guys had broken up. I had not been sick that night. I'd been home, waiting for Noah to come back from his team building mixer. He brought me takeout, kissed me on the forehead, told me they missed me and Riley had asked about my lemon bars. Meanwhile, he was parading my sister around like she was his shiny new girlfriend. In a red dress, the same one she wore to my birthday last year, the night he told me I looked washed out in comparison. I hung up with Riley after thanking her genuinely. She didn't have to tell me any of that, but she did. Because women like Riley, they're done staying silent while mediocre men rewrite history. So I posted one final update. I didn't name names, didn't expose private DMs or start a war, but I posted a carousel of quiet truth, a picture of the ring receipt, a screenshot of the canceled Tulum trip, a photo of me on my couch, wrapped in a blanket, no makeup, but smiling. And the caption? To the women blamed for their partner's lies, to the sisters who never thought they'd be the betrayal, to the girls rebuilding from the rubble, You are not the villain in his rewrite. You are the whole damn plot twist. It went semi-viral. Thousands of likes, DMs from strangers thanking me, and one unexpected new follower, Mallory. I didn't block her. Not yet. Because the next message I send her is going to change everything. It had been a quiet 48 hours. No new drama, no desperate texts from Noah, no cryptic thirst traps from Mallory. Just peace, which of course meant it couldn't possibly last. Because on Thursday afternoon, at exactly 3:12 p.m., there was a knock at my door. I opened it and nearly slammed it shut again. Mallory, standing on my porch in oversized sunglasses and a beige trench coat, like she was starring in her own personal soap opera, hair pulled back, lips trembling, a small cardboard box clutched to her chest like it was her final defense. I crossed my arms. What do you want? She took off her sunglasses slowly, like she thought it would make her more relatable. Can we talk? No, please, she said, voice cracking. I just need 5 minutes, that's all. I was about to shut the door, but something stopped me. Maybe it was curiosity. I opened the door wider, just enough for her to step in. She set it on the kitchen island and said, "He proposed last night, and I didn't say yes, I couldn't." Mallory looked like she hadn't slept. Her voice shook with that unsteady rhythm of someone finally cracking under guilt. I wanted to say yes. I thought maybe if I loved him hard enough, I could justify it, that it would feel right. But last night he got down on one knee in the living room, and I saw your face. I saw what I'd done. She wiped her eyes with her sleeve. I thought he was my person, but he's just charming and hollow, like a costume. I think he always was. I didn't respond. I couldn't, because part of me had wanted this moment, this reckoning, and now that it was here, it just felt sad. Is there any way back for us? She whispered. Not him. Us. You and me. I looked at her, this woman, who used to be my best friend, my sister, my co-conspirator in every childhood dream, and all I could think was, you burned the bridge, you doused it in kerosene, then danced in the ashes. I walked over to the box, picked up the ring, and closed it gently. Then I handed it back to her. No, there's no way back, but there is a way forward, and it doesn't include him, or me. I stood alone in my kitchen, hands shaking, heart pounding, but strangely, lighter. Because that wasn't revenge. That was release. I finally closed the chapter, not with rage, but with a boundary. Decima,